Hello YouTube friends, this is Dr. Teresa here again. I wanted to give another update on how the dwarf seahorses are doing. It's been a week since the tragedy happened last weekend. First, I want to start by apologizing to Chris W. I had mentioned that a number of people reached out to me, and one of the people was James, who was very kind to offer words of support. But Chris W. was actually the one who did the research for me about aquarium decorations and many of them not being safe for salt water. So I apologize for the mix-up. And once again, I continue to thank everyone who has reached out to me and continues to check in and see how things are going. Well, I did monitor the seahorses pretty closely all this week, and I noticed something interesting. A lot of them that seem impacted by the event look like they're experiencing some sort of necrosis. So if you look carefully, it looks like the tail is misshapen. There's color loss as though something had eaten away. I'm not sure if that grows back and if the dwarf seahorses regain mobility of their tail or not. It reminded me a lot, though, of many years ago when I used to keep dwarf seahorses that were wild caught, and this was before captive bred became available, and that would inevitably happen to the wild caught ones, where they looked like they were losing coloration in their tail. The tails became stiff. Eventually they would end up dying, and it turns out that those were microscopic nematodes that were creating that necrosis effect. So I'm not sure exactly why that's happening, if that is just a result of circulation due to poisoning, but I have been running alternate courses of formalin 37% and Safeguard dewormer just in case. And concurrently, I've been using those with Paragard, so that's a high level of medication in the tank, but so many of them look so poorly, I just felt like I didn't have anything to lose. Today I'm finishing up my last dose of those medications, and I'll be doing a large water change. Initially, I was worried that I was going to lose the entire herd because they did look so miserable that first 24 hours. I was losing approximately one or two most days this past week. To date, I have lost 7, which is nowhere near as many as I thought I was going to lose. It's possible I will lose 1 or 2 more. But as of this moment, as I'm recording, there are 34 left, which is still a good amount, and I have hope that things are starting to stabilize. I'm seeing signs of good color. Even the seahorses who have a little bit of necrosis seem like they're gaining some mobility in their tail or learning to adapt. I also noticed that they seem to be having a lot of problems with their buoyancy. Maybe their swim bladder was affected by whatever had happened to them, but there is a lot less of that going on now, which is really great. So other signs of stabilization, I've been seeing flirting going on in the tank, and if you look, we actually have a few pregnant papas. In fact, within the first 24 hours of returning to the 10-gallon tank, there was 1 papa expecting, and then over the next couple of days, it looked like there were a couple of more. So those are all good signs that indicate we're reversing the trend. My last readings on the tank, because I'm just trying to keep everything as best I can for their environment right now, make it optimum. My last readings were about 8 nitrates and just a little over 0 on phosphates. So I will do another update in a week or 2. Hopefully it will be just about all good news, but I thank you again for your support. It really made a big difference, and I try to not look at it as a tragedy. There's always something to learn. It seems horrible in the moment that it's happening, but hopefully this is a lesson not just for me that many of you will benefit from. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate how many of you have been tuning in and giving likes. It's really given my channel a little boost, so I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And I hope to see you for the next installment. Take care.